Welcome to Farming Aid.
If you are raising chickens and expecting real returns, not just a pretty flock, then this video is for you. Too many people jump into poultry keeping without realizing that not all breeds are built to earn their feed. Some lay well but never grow into a worthwhile meat bird, while others put on weight fast and leave you with an empty egg basket. The smart choice is finding chickens that do both jobs well and keep doing it season after season. In this video, we are counting down the best top 5 dual-purpose chicken breeds for meat and eggs that actually pay off. These are not trendy birds or rare show breeds. These are proven, hardworking chickens trusted by farmers, homesteaders, and small producers who care about feed costs, steady egg production, and a bird that still makes sense to process when its laying days slow down. By the end of this video, you will understand which dual-purpose chickens offer the best balance of productivity, temperament, and long-term value. Whether you are just starting out or looking to upgrade your current flock, this countdown will help you choose chickens that work as hard as you do and actually put food on the table. The Rhode Island Red comes up for a reason. This bird is a workhorse with a reputation that spans small farms and backyard coops alike. Rhode Island Reds are dependable layers that will give you a solid annual yield of medium to large brown eggs while also producing birds with thick bodies and decent muscle for meat. They tolerate a variety of climates and adapt well to free-range or semi-intensive systems. In terms of temperament, they can be assertive but manageable, which matters when you are moving birds, catching hens for processing, or mixing flocks. For a small-scale operator looking to reduce input costs, Rhode Island Reds can be strong performers even on more modest feed rations because they convert feed into both eggs and body mass efficiently. They are not the fluffiest birds in terms of down or feather density when compared with Orpingtons, but their practicality is why many homesteaders keep them. If you plan to scale up slowly, Rhode Island Reds are an excellent backbone breed. They are consistent, predictable, and familiar to buyers who trust the name when they are shopping for brown eggs or a solid roasting bird. Plymouth Rock, often called Barred Rock when it shows its classic black and white striping, is another breed that marries productivity with ease of handling. Barred Rocks are the sort of chicken that makes family farming simple. They lay well through the cooler months and tend to keep a steady output of eggs, which smooths cash flow for small producers. When left to put on weight, they develop broad breasts and thighs that produce good yields at processing time. One underrated advantage of Plymouth Rock is temperament. These birds are calm, friendly, and easy to move. If your business model includes educational farm visits, workshop flocks, or customers who value docile birds, this temperament adds practical value beyond raw production numbers. Feed conversion for Plymouth Rock is solid. They will gain weight at a reasonable pace without demanding specially formulated high-protein rations. For markets that prefer whole birds rather than processed cuts, their frame and meat distribution are appealing. On top of that, buyers often recognize the breed, and the reputation helps when you want to command a fair price for free-range eggs or naturally raised roasting birds. Sussex deserves attention for its versatility and for how well it adapts to mixed management systems. The light Sussex is classic, but other Sussex varieties work similarly. These birds have historically been prized in smallholder systems where one needs both eggs and table birds without juggling separate flocks. Sussex hens are moderate to strong layers, and the cocks and hens both put on a weight that is useful at slaughter. One practical advantage is that Sussex chickens are hardy and tend to forage effectively. That means if you run a farm that mixes pasture-based forages with supplemental feed, these birds will find a fair amount of their own nutrition and convert free-range forage into body mass and egg production. Sussex birds also tend to be less flighty than some commercial layer types, which helps reduce stress and injury when catching or processing. Their dual-purpose nature makes them forgiving for beginners who are still dialing in feed programs and pasture management. If your local market appreciates birds that were allowed to range and have a robust flavor, Sussex meat often fares well in small-batch direct sales where provenance and rearing method matter to customers. Australorp is a breed whose name crops up whenever people talk about the sweet spot between high egg output and respectable carcass. Developed from Australian backyard breeding of Orpington-type stock, Australorps became famous for their extraordinary laying capacity while still holding onto a sturdy body suited for meat. They are quiet, friendly, and adapt easily to confinement or range. For producers who need dependable egg flow plus the option to raise some birds for meat, Australorps can fit both roles. Their egg output rivals many commercial strains during good conditions, but they also possess the robustness to gain enough weight that processing them as roasters becomes worthwhile. In markets where buyers want a dual-purpose bird that still lays reliably late into the season, Australorp often meets expectations. Consider them if you want a breed that brings both high morale in the flock, because they get along with other birds, and reasonable economics in the barn due to their efficient conversion of feed into egg mass and body mass. Orpington, particularly the buff Orpington, is what many people imagine when they picture a backyard classic. These birds carry size and temperament in equal measure. Buff Orpingtons are broad-breasted and feathered in a way that makes them look substantial even at a glance. They are excellent mothers and have a gentle disposition which makes them ideal for mixed-age flocks and family farms. From a profitability perspective, they are not the fastest growers, nor the highest producers in eggs compared with specialized layers, but they are among the breeds that offer a high-quality eating bird and steady egg production. If your customers are willing to pay a premium for birds known for flavor, texture, and ease of handling, Orpingtons can command a higher price per bird. Their docility reduces handling losses and makes on-farm processing easier, which in small-scale systems can materially lower labor costs. They also do well in cold weather due to dense feathering, which can reduce mortality and keep production steadier through winter months for farms in colder zones. Beyond raw breed traits, you need to match the bird to your operation. There is no single breed that will solve every problem. If your priority is year-round egg sales with occasional meat birds, you may favor Australorp or Rhode Island Red for the better laying rhythm. If you plan to market roasters and place emphasis on temperament and higher visual appeal for pasture-based sales, Buff Orpington and Sussex are excellent. Plymouth Rock sits in the middle as a reliable, friendly, and marketable bird. When you calculate feed costs versus revenue, include not only the feed-to-weight conversion but also the egg revenue stream. An egg-laying hen that later becomes a roasting hen can deliver months of egg income before you ever factor in the processing value. That combined income changes profitability math significantly. Many producers underestimate the cumulative value of eggs from replacement pullets that later serve as meat birds. Track both streams separately and you will see how dual-purpose management improves your margins. Management choices amplify breed strengths. For example, rotational grazing or mobile coops can significantly cut feed costs per bird because birds will supplement their diet with pasture, insects, and forage. Breeds like Sussex and Australorp that forage efficiently will convert that forage into usable product better than highly specialized industrial layers that are optimized for indoor rations. Housing that includes good ventilation, predator protection, and adequate perch and nest space will keep mortality low and production steady. For meat value, aim for even growth. Avoid pushing birds with high concentrate rations early only to have poor feed conversion later. Balanced protein early and maintenance rations later typically yield birds with better texture and flavor, which customers appreciate. Also pay attention to lighting programs for laying. Short changes in day length influence egg production and hence revenue. A stable, low-stress environment tends to generate both better egg numbers and more uniform weight gain, so temperament-friendly breeds like Barred Rock and Orpingtons will often deliver better results in low-input systems because they avoid the losses and chaos that flighty flocks create. Feed costs are the single biggest controllable expense, so monitor them closely and tweak your approach for each breed. If you are raising Rhode Island Reds and Australorps primarily for eggs with some market birds, a grower feed transitioning to layer feed makes sense. For Orpingtons and Sussex that you intend to market as roasters, consider increasing the protein during the finishing phase to improve breast and thigh development. If you use pasture rotation, ask yourself what portion of daily nutritional needs will be met by forage. In many climates you can provide 30 to 50% of an adult bird's needs through pasture during active months, which is a huge saving. However, pasture quality varies, so budget for supplemental feed. Keep records of feed used per bird and compare that with egg dozens produced and finished bird weight at processing. Over a single season, this simple record keeping reveals whether your chosen breeds are actually paying off or only looking good on paper. Marketing and packaging influence realized price. Buyers will pay more for whole birds raised on pasture, for eggs with a clean shell and consistent size, and for birds with transparent rearing practices. Use breed names in your product descriptions. A Rhode Island Red free-range dozen sounds like a trusted, familiar product to many consumers. Buff Orpington roasters and Barred Rock Farm fresh eggs carry a story value that can be leveraged at farmers markets, through CSA shares, or in farm gate sales. Photos of healthy birds in pasture and short notes about feed, husbandry, and processing timelines help customers connect and buy. If you sell directly, aim for value-add opportunities such as offering cook-ready packages, shares for seasonal roasters, or bundled egg and meat boxes. Your operation becomes more resilient when you diversify sales channels and let breed traits do some of the selling for you. Finally, think long-term. Dual-purpose breeds are about balance and continuity. They let you cycle birds through egg production and then recover additional value from meat. Replace your flock thoughtfully. Keep a few pullets each season to become the next generation of layers and eventual table birds, and cull or sell cockerels early if your market prefers pullets. Manage disease proactively with biosecurity, vaccination where appropriate, and a plan for parasite control. Keep records on each breed with notes on egg output, feed use, temperament, and customer feedback. Over a few seasons you can refine the mix of Rhode Island Red, Plymouth Rock, Sussex, Australorp and Orpington on your farm to match your land, your market, and your labor. When you get that balance right, dual-purpose chickens become not just practical animals but reliable contributors to farm income and food security. When it comes down to it, raising chickens that truly pay off is about choosing balance over hype. The dual-purpose breeds we covered in this countdown prove that you do not have to sacrifice egg production to get quality meat, or give up meat value just to keep the egg basket full. These birds earn their place by turning feed, time, and care into dependable food and real value. The biggest takeaway is that the right breed can simplify your entire operation. With strong dual-purpose chickens, you are getting steady eggs throughout the year and a solid table bird when it is time to rotate your flock. That means fewer birds to manage, lower overall costs, and more flexibility whether you are feeding your family or selling locally. No matter the size of your setup, success comes from matching the breed to your goals, your climate, and how you manage your birds. When you do that, dual-purpose chickens stop being a compromise and start becoming one of the smartest investments on the farm. If this video helped you, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your experience in the comments. Let us know which dual-purpose chicken breed has worked best for you, or which one you are thinking about raising next. Your feedback helps the channel grow and helps other farmers make better choices.